joined by Hofstra baseball coach John Russo following the Pride's doubleheader split with Albany. Coach, your thoughts on a long, cold day of baseball?
I thought Albany was a really good opponent. We were, thought that they would be really good coming in, and feel like we're very lucky to walk away with one game. Really liked Albany starting pitching on the day. I thought both starters were as good a guys as we've seen all year, and I thought in the first game, once we got the starter out, I thought we were a little relieved to see somebody else, and got the offense going some. I was able to come back there in that game, and in the second game, their guy was really good, struck out 15. I don't remember anybody handling us like that in a long time. And Matt Weishire threw really well. Got 3 unearned runs, which was a really tough luck. And, I thought we were matching them right there, and they just outplayed us.
How'd it feel to be back home?
It's always tough to come home. You get used to being on the road. You don't have to do much. And then back home, you have to kind of get used to it. So I'm excited that we got to do it before conference play. But it's just different, it's a little bit easier sometimes being the road. We've been gotten used to it. We won 8 in a row on the road. And I thought that kind of was a little bit of our problem was early on. The guys were trying to do too much, get used to music, little stuff that's just different than when you're on the road. And so I think they were happy to wear the all whites today, and I thought that was something that was pretty cool. And, tomorrow's going to be a really big game. You have to win a series at home, so I'm anxious to see what we do tomorrow.
It stinks to, end a winning streak, but can you just put it in perspective just how great it was, 9 games?
It was good. I said it when we started, 4 different states, and be able to do it, and then to keep it going, in that last one when you're down 7-1, and then you come back and you tie it, and then you get down again, and then you tie it, and then you have the walk-off, and thought that was super exciting, and really felt like we used a lot of energy to come back right there, and I think, in the second game there, you saw at the end we didn't seem to have much to offer. Plus, Savino was that good in that game, so it was a little double-edged sword of, us going down and Savino throwing really good.
Can you talk a little bit about the comeback? I know we spoke earlier in the week about, the team had a little mojo, a little attitude, able to fight back. So this was, definitely proof of that in that 7-1 deficit.
I'm really glad for the home crowd, and everybody's been following, and we've been getting a lot of nice praise, but more importantly, I'm happy that the home crowd got to see a little bit of what this team was made of. I think we very easily could have laid down at 7-1 right there and just said, hey, it wasn't meant to be. It was different being at home, and, I never felt like in the dugout that they gave up, and we talk a lot about this, and I think you guys have heard me talk a lot about this, is like winning is a belief, and I think just as close as losing close games, I think if you believe you can win close games, you can do that too. And the whole time in the dugout, I felt like, we were going to come back. And, we made a nice little run there. I thought Justin Smith had really 2 huge at-bats, and he hadn't had an at-bat in a couple weeks. And for him to come up and have big at-bats there, I thought was really nice. And, top of the order did really good, Gauthier. And then, Vito's been clutch for us all year. He's, every big at-bat he's deposited so far, and can't be more impressed with him, and I think he really helps our lineup right now.
And speaking of Gauthier, first game, 3 hits, 3 runs batted in. Seems like he's been a part of a lot of timely hitting this season as a freshman. You feel like he just doesn't feel the pressure this year? It's just been a pretty easy transition from him.
It's me and Austin talk a little bit about this. It's really nice to be have a guy that led you in hitting for 3 years in a row batting in front of you, and then you have Vito Friesian batting behind you, and then nobody knows your name batting in the 2-hole, and so he gets a lot of good pitches to hit because the people around him. But I think more than anything, he's really seized his opportunities, and I think being around Steven, being around Vito, and the guys taking care of it, Austin's confidence, is a really high. And somebody that I want to make sure I talk about is Daniel Page. I thought was incredible game 1, and he's just played really well the last 4.5 games, and he broke his pinky there sliding into second, or he dislocated it, and that was why he came out. But I think he was on base all 5 times in that first game, and made a great defensive play there at third base, and just continued to have big at bats. And I was really impressed. And as a matter of fact, I thought Jeffries played really well defensively at third base also in this game. But we get a lot of help from a lot of new names that I think people are starting to see. We just didn't play our best. We made some bad errors at bad times today.
You just touched on John Rooney, who with his 10 strikeouts today became the all-time leader at Hofstra with 199 career strikeouts now.
Which is incredible, he, he's only halfway through, not even halfway through his junior year, and to set a school record. And of late and of this year, he's been really throwing a lot of strikeouts up. And I don't know if he had his best stuff again today, but he puts up 10 Ks in a hurry, and felt really bad for him in the inning that he had. It doesn't turn out to be unearned runs, but if we pick off that guy at first base and hold that's 2 outs, guy on second, and I'm pretty sure Rooney gets out of that, and ended up costing him 4 runs on not making that play. But John's character, his stuff, his confidence, I mean, he has to throw behind home plate, and you guys get to see it. There's 5 to 10 to 15 scouts at every time he's throwing right now, and he's exceeding expectations. And he's worked really hard for everything that he's gotten here at Hofstra, and I'm super proud of him, and definitely well-deserved honor for him.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.